Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing you 25 must-have essential mods for 2025. These are all gameplay related mods, some are big, some are a lot smaller, and I will be sharing these mods in order of the biggest, most impactful mods to the smaller mods, maybe some of the overrides at the end. But regardless of whether it's a bigger mod or smaller mod, these are mods that I could not live without, and some of them are really popular mods, whereas some of the other mods are a lot more obscure and I feel like a lot of people might not know about them. They might be mods that I only found recently. So without further ado, we're going to get into the mod showcase. Everything will be linked down below. Number 1 is MC Command Center. MC Command Center, or mccc, is definitely like the most important mod I have in my game. I definitely think it's the most popular mod in the Sims community as well. It's definitely the mod that like almost everyone has, even people who don't really like to use mods. If you're unfamiliar with what it basically is like a god mode for The Sims 4. So there are many different menus for MC Command Center, but you can click on one of your Sims, and here you have it here, MC Command Center, and it brings up this menu, and you can literally change so much in your game, literally anything. You can change things about your game in general, how it works, or your household and Sims. It can be a little intimidating with all of the different tabs and things like that, but it does become a lot more intuitive the longer you use it. Examples of things that you can do and change with MC Command Center is changing the household size limit, lifespan settings. You can mess with the pregnancy and woohoo settings. For example, you could change like the pregnancy duration. So if you wanted your sim to be pregnant for like 1 day or 2 days instead of 3. You can also change your sim's outfits from this menu, and you can also change everyone in the lot's outfits using the mailbox. And you can also delete and kill your sims as well. So that is also an option that you can do. So as I said, you can access MC Command Center by clicking on your sim. You can also access the menu from a computer and also from the mailbox as well, but most of the interactions can be found by clicking on your sim. Mod number 2 is UI cheats. Now UI cheats is definitely another super important essential mod in my opinion, and it's basically in the name. It basically allows you to cheat UI. To activate UI cheats, you can right click on different parts of the UI, so for example the simoleons, and you can add and set money to your sim's household. You can also cheat things like skills, so if you want your sim to have level 8 skill of charisma, you can also cheat away midlets. If your sim did have a job, none of my sims have jobs in this household, but if you did have one, then you could also cheat the progression in the career. And you can also easily cheat relationships as well by right clicking, so if I want them to have 100 romance, I can do that. It's pretty handy, it's a lot easier, and you don't have to go through any menus and things like that. You honestly just right click and the cheat happens for you. You don't need to do the cheat codes for certain things anymore. So it is a super handy mod. It's really easy. I feel like it's another mod that a lot of people know about, but just in case you didn't, it's super handy to have. Mod number 3 is honestly a lifesaver for me, and I only got it a few months ago. Mod number 3 is Better Exceptions by Twisted Mexi. This mod basically scans your game for certain issues and gives you a more expanded view of exceptions that your game has. If you're a mod user, you might have experienced that your sim had exceptions, which is basically issues, I believe. And what this mod does is it helps you find those issues, troubleshoot them, and make your game run as it should. So once you've installed Better Exceptions into your game, you will get a notification at the top over here, and you want to click where it says Open Better Exceptions menu. Once you've opened it, there's a few different options, but some things that you can do is check for conflicts, which basically checks all of your mods, looks to make sure that they all work well together. You can also locate outfit CC, UI mods, and run patch compatibility scanner. So I mainly do the conflict checker and the compatibility scanner because it's also good to check once you've updated your game, just to see if there are any mods that need updated, or like if there's any that you forgot about, things like that. And also if your game does crash or like has any lagging issues, or maybe you downloaded a new mod, Better Exceptions usually picks up on that and tells you what the issue is or what mod is causing your game to act up. So it's super handy. It's definitely not a fun mod in the sense that like it's not like a gameplay mod, but it really helps your gameplay, and I feel like it's something that everyone should have, especially if you have mods. Mod number 4 is the Relationship and Pregnancy Overhaul by Lumpinau. This mod is very much centered around relationship and pregnancy related gameplay, adding lots of realism. I've been using it for around a year or two, and it has honestly changed my family gameplay so much. It adds things like fertility, diseases, paternity testing, jealousy, infidelity, surrogacy, expanded adoption, termination, and a lot more. There's like so many different modules that you can pick and choose from. I personally play with the fertility and protection, paternity testing, teen pregnancy, cheating, pregnancy side effects, romances and relationships, and expanded woohoo, but sometimes I take some out and add some new ones in depending on the stories that I'm having in my game. And yeah, it just adds a whole lot of realism, a lot of cool interactions with your Sims. When you have the mod in your game, there's a whole new tab in the social pie menu, and you can talk about things like reproductive health, woohoo life. It really does just open up a whole new avenue of gameplay and realism, which I love. Mod number 5 is the Panda Sama childbirth mod, which is one of my favorite mods. I use it a lot, and this mod essentially adds a realistic childbirth experience to the game, which is very much needed. It adds things like pregnancy checkups, gender reveals, several types of births. So just so we can do a quick little demo, I'm going to make Anna pregnant using MC Command Center. If you wanted to know how to do this in MC Command Center, you essentially go down to MC pregnancy and pregnancy start, and the dad's going to be Abel, and we're just going to do one male baby. Oh, okay, I guess she's pregnant with 3 babies. I don't know. Okay, MC Command Center, she's having triplets. Wow, okay. So now that she's pregnant, we can do like a really cool pregnancy test animation, which is part of the mod. So if we click on the toilet, click on pregnancy test. I downloaded this super fancy mansion from the gallery, and look at the toilets. I didn't even know this was a part of the game. It's like a golden goose toilet, but it essentially has an actual pregnancy test in the animation, which is unlike the base game version. And she is about to find out that she's pregnant, and you'll see her face. She is in shock. And it's just like a super cool little like animation. It's really well done, and I just love it. It's so much more realistic, and you feel more connected when your sim finds out. It says eating for 2. She's actually eating for 4, but okay. So she's gonna go and tell Abel, and then we're gonna check out the appointments and things like that. So we are now going to share the pregnancy news, and she is about to show him the test. Oh my god, she gave him the test, and he is also in shock, which is just so nice. I feel like it's a nice difference. Is just super cute. Like, it just makes it feel like a nice little family. So now we're going to check out the appointments. So to set up things like appointments, if you also wanted to do a gender reveal, you could do that through the events. So you can set up a gender reveal party over here. We're not going to do that in this video because it would take too long, but you can do that. I've made many streams where I've done this as well. But for the appointments, all you need to do is go to your phone, click on the home icon, and call obstetrician. She's also feeling super sad. She thinks she's going to be a terrible parent, but this is where you can set up what type of birth you would like to do for your pregnancy. So you can do the surgery machine like in the vanilla game, or you can do a natural delivery, a C-section, or a home birth. But we're just going to go ahead and do the natural delivery. And then if you wanted to set up checkups, you also just do it the same way, call obstetrician. And then you can go and get an ultrasound appointment and find out what the gender of the baby is, or you could just like have a checkup in general if you wanted. In my experience, this mod always just works really seamlessly. There's never really any issues. And the best part of the mod is the giving birth experience itself. It's just so magical. So we're going to fast forward to that super quickly. So we're also going to cheat using MC Command Center, going down to pregnancy. We're going to go into pregnancy phase. We're going to put her in labor already. Another really nice feature about this mod is that you can ask your partner or even friends in your sim's life to accompany them to the hospital. I think by default the partner already is going to accompany, but yeah, we're just going to go to the hospital. Okay, we are now at the hospital. So the first thing you want to do when you're at the hospital is change up the hospital bed, because if we're doing a natural delivery using the mod, we can't use the surgery machine. So I'm just going to shift click this bed, and we're going to turn it into a natural birth bed, and that is the bed that you're able to use for the mod for the natural delivery. You can also do the C-section bed. So usually how the labor works is you have to go to an obstetrician. I don't think the doctors work. You have to go to an obstetrician, and they can give you an epidural. Sometimes it fails, sometimes it works, and you just keep on getting it done until it works. Then they check your dilation, and usually you start off with 1 centimeter dilated, and then you have to wait until you're 10 centimeters, I think. And that is super good if you like a realistic, slower pace of gameplay for your sim's pregnancy or labor experience. But if you're like me, which for this example, we're just going to speed through it. You can speed through it using cheats with this mod, which is super handy. So if you want to speed through it, you can just shift click on your sim, and you want to go over to where it says childbirth settings, and you can just click give birth immediately. And that just means that your sim can give birth before they're fully dilated. So it just ignores the dilation thing. And then we can click over on the bed and give birth, and we'll just pick this doctor. And you can see it's a lot different to the vanilla birthing experience. It's a lot more realistic. I do have the smaller mosaic mod, which we'll be talking about in a minute. So yeah, it's a little bit more graphic because I used this mod, but I forgot like that it would be like this in the realistic pregnancy thing. So yeah, that's something that I'll maybe need to adjust. So I'm not gonna pan the other way until the baby's born. And the babies have been born. I was gonna show you that your partners can also join in on the experience, but this baby's gonna be called Ezra. The girl is gonna be called Melina. And this girl is going to be called Juliet. Those are actually really nice names, Sims. I definitely need to change this mosaic size because it's way too small. I got the extra small version so you can see a little bit of something. There's baby number 3. Oh my god. It really is just a completely different experience and it's a lot more realistic. So if you like the sound of that, I would highly recommend checking it out. There definitely are more detailed guides with this mod, so I will recommend one of those in the description, but this is just to show you about it and kind of if you've never heard of it before. Mod number 6 is Wonderful Whims by Turbo Driver. This is also another essential mod for me. And the main reason I use this mod is for the menstrual cycle because I feel like it makes the pregnancy system more consistent and more realistic. So it comes with a menstrual cycle, also products related to that, birth control. It also comes with diseases, sexual diseases. It comes with enhanced personality types and attraction. So I've always used that even before the Sims in this game added attraction to the game. I used the Wonderful Whims attraction system because I really liked it. You can also customize more things with it than without it. And it comes with some other little features with sweating as well. So those were the main reasons that I use it, mainly for the menstrual cycle. It's really easy to use. So if you go over to the pie menu, click on Wonderful, you can change up the settings over here. You can also pose your Sims as well. I love using this for my Sims poses. And yeah, it is just an essential mod in my opinion. It also is the safer work version of Wicked Whims, which I'm sure you guys would have heard of. But if you didn't know about Wonderful Whims, here it is. Mod number 7 is SNB Bank. SNB is essentially an overhaul for your Sims banking system or money system. So if we go over to our phone and click over here, we can see SNB Bank or SM Bank. I don't know how to say it. I usually just say SNB, but if we click on SNB, this mod essentially adds checking and saving accounts to the game. So you can manage accounts over here. These guys do not have any accounts at all, so we can open up an account individually for each of them. So let's just open up a savings account, and you can upgrade to Premier as well, which also has a higher interest rate. We're just going to do no thanks for that. And you can also share accounts with multiple Sims. So say they have their individual checking accounts, they can have a savings account together for a new home or for their kids or something like that. So that's essentially how it works. It's really realistic and it just makes it more like you have more options with your money. And on a similar note, mod number 8 is SMB Bills, which basically changes up how the bills work in the game. So to access the bills part of SMB Bills, we go over to the home tab, we can click on show bills information, and this will look a lot different to the vanilla version. So when you have this mod, you now have to pay for a little bit more than you usually would have, and it very clearly visually tells you what you have to pay like at a certain point. So if you click on home services, if you want to have Wi-Fi, things like power, water, garbage, all of that, there's different options that you can pay. The basic welcome home package includes power, water, and garbage collection, which is kind of like the bare minimum. Then you can have basic cable and cell phone and basic internet, but then you can have like premium internet, like the more expensive option. Of course, they have that. They have quite a lot of money. And then it very clearly tells you about utility bills you have to pay, property taxes. Say you only have a certain amount of money, you can decide, okay, I'm only going to pay the power right now, and then once Anna gets paid, we'll pay the water, things like that. So that's essentially how the mod works. It basically makes the billing system a little bit more dynamic than the vanilla EA version. It also increases the difficulty, which I do like because I feel like sometimes The Sims 4 does feel a little bit easy. So if you've also been feeling that, this is a little way to change that and also add a little bit more realism. You can kind of sense a theme with the mods that I'm sharing today. Mod number 9 is Expanded Milestones, also by Limpinow. This very simply improves and expands upon EA milestones. It adds 50 plus custom new milestones, and there are so many new ones I can't even go through them all, but I just feel like having more milestone options is always better than having not enough. There's so many packs, so many traits, so many different types of Sims that you can play with, and so many stories that you can have with those Sims, that I feel like having more milestones is very important for storytelling. and also for understanding your sim and making them feel more relatable to your real life experiences or the real life experiences that you want to tell in the game. This is a mod that I have had for quite a while, so I haven't even really noticed it like not being in my game because I feel like it's one of those, like milestones is a very like side thing in the game. But despite me getting used to the mod, I feel like it's very important for everyone to have for storytelling. Mod number 10 is Granny's Cookbook by Little Bobub. This mod essentially adds a lot of new custom recipes to the game, which is very much needed. Although we get recipes with different packs and things like that, new worlds, I always feel like there's never enough, and sometimes the quality of what they give us isn't really what I like. So Little Bobub's mod is amazing for adding new recipes, a lot more real life recipes. You want to place the Granny's old cookbook, and you also want to place the homestead helper. That is also like an essential part of the mod, and you can easily customize like what color you want for each thing to match your kitchen, and from that there are so many recipes that you can make. We'll just have a look at some of the breakfast ones, for example. So there's breakfast cereal, fluffer nutter sandwiches, eggs and soldiers, so many nice options. I'll also show you the meals. Like just look at all of these: grilled cheese and tomato soup, we've got a teddy bear picnic. My sims are level 1, so this is, let me just cheat their skill up. I did end up maxing all of the skills, and I forgot that it does this when you max them all out. It would just keep on showing all of the skills being maxed. But I will quickly show you some of the meals, and you can now see he can make like a lot more things. Like look at all of the options: cauliflower chickpea tacos, French onion soup, chicken and waffles, pizza, Salisbury steak, sushi, chili garlic dough balls, ratatouille. So many cool things, and you can also make food specifically for toddlers as well using this book. Recipes is definitely something that gets overlooked by both the Sims team and sometimes players as well. I don't know if it's going to be super important to everyone, but to me I feel like it's super important to family gameplay. When my parents Sims cook for their children, I like to make like lots of cool different things, and sometimes the older recipes get a bit boring. The next mod is the Passionate Gifts mod by Utopia. From the name you can probably guess that this mod adds passionate gifts to the game, and it makes it so that your Sims can give romantic gifts to their partner in a very cool animated way. So for example, I will show you some of the gift options that you can give. So to give passionate gifts to your Sims partner, you want to go over to romance, and you can give a designer bag, which I have showed off on my channel before. You can check out the sticker above. A fancy wristwatch, flowers and chocolate, heart necklace, love letter bouquet, and a silver bracelet. So we're going to do the flowers and chocolate just so you can see like what that animation's like, because I've not done that one before. But you can see he's giving her the flowers and the chocolate. It looks so cute, and they're being so passionate, as the name suggests. And basically that's what all of these gift animations are like. They're really high quality, really well done, and of course really passionate. So if that's what you want for your game, I would highly recommend downloading this. It's really cool and it's really intimate for your Sims. The next mod is the Display of Affection mod, which is another of my favorite mods. It really does elevate the romantic interactions between your Sims, and like the last mod, it has really good animation. So to access this, your Sims do have to have a high enough romantic relationship. Click on romance, click on Display of Affection, and there are different animations that you can do. So did the wrong one now that Anna's taller than Abel over here, but you can see what it was supposed to be like. But yeah, if you want the animation to work properly, I think you have to be on the female Sim for it to work, like for him to be taller than her, because the animations do implement a height difference. So let's check out the flirt animation. And as we can see here, they're doing a little flirt kind of thing over here. And I've actually done a video about this mod as well, where I kind of show everything off. There's also 2 hug animations and a kiss animation. And it's just kind of a nice interaction that's different from the vanilla interactions. If you're bored of the passionate kisses and the declaring of love and things like that, you can use these animations, and they're a little bit more realistic, a little bit more passionate. The next mod is the Road to Fame mod by Sacrificial. This expands upon fame, fans, paparazzi, adds things like meet and greets, promotions, bodyguards, personal assistants, and your sim can become famous through a lot more different avenues, and it kind of specializes along those different avenues. So just so we can do a quick little demo of like how to get into the mod, you want to go to the Road to Fame panel over here. And these are the different avenues that you can become famous from. I love for the paparazzis out there as I'm speaking, but you can become famous from acting, modeling, professional singing, Simstagram, and street dancing. So let's say she wants to be a model. We can browse modeling poses. And just so I can show you like how the fame thing works, I am going to add 1 million Simstagram followers just so we can give her some more fame. And there are some other things that we can now do from that. So let's promote a brand. It's kind of cool. It's just a little bit more of like a realistic integration into fame. Instead of just walking around with the spotlight, you can have more like celebrity related interactions. We can also hire a bodyguard over here. You can call the police. So here we have our bodyguard over here who's looking very intimidating, not gonna lie, the swagger, and we can hire as personal bodyguard. So we can give our bodyguard orders like to fight with a sim, slap a sim, basically like negative interactions. And we can also tell the bodyguard like how to behave, so that's also super cool. So it's just a super cool expansion of the Get Famous pack in my opinion, which is a pack that I have never really been super into, but I feel like this mod helps to make it more interesting. So if you want to play with more celebrity sims and you do not have this mod, you should definitely try it out. I feel like there's a lot to explore and I only showed you a very small part of the mod. The next mod is SimCity Loans, which is a very handy mod for storytelling and also just like practical gameplay. And as the name suggests, you can now request loans from the computer. So if we go over to the computer over here, you can go to the end and click on SimCity Loans, and you can apply for a loan as small as 1,000 simoleons all the way up to 500k, which is pretty good if you wanted to have your family buy a home. Instead of cheating the money in, you can actually apply for a loan and end up paying it off. So if you want to apply, we'll just apply for the maximum and see how that works. You can also select a payment, like a repayment plan. So we'll pay in like 12 payments because we already have like a decent amount of money, and the loan was approved and it has a 5% interest rate that we have to pay back. So it's pretty simple like that, and essentially you have a little package in your inventory and you can do a full repay, you can make a payment, things like that. So that's how it works. When you want to repay your loan, you just go into your inventory and that's how that works. And I like to use this for buying homes mainly, and also if you wanted to buy something else that was super expensive, maybe your sim was broke and just needed to pay rent, you could use it for that as well. The next mod is the photographic memory mod by Ravishing, and this mod essentially improves existing images that you have in your game, and it can also transfer them to paintings or cross stitches. And to use this mod, you want to go into the buy catalog and look up the flash drive photo storage. You could also look up the floppy disk option, which is over here. So we're going to use the flash drive option, and what you want to do is just place this into the real world, and let's just get able to take a picture with this phone, because we all know what it's like when you take a selfie of your sim and the quality is like really bad. So we'll take that, we'll just take a few of them. Hopefully there will be one that's horrible quality. So we have one selfie over here that is poor quality, which happens quite often when you take selfies on the phone or even on cameras that are expensive. So if you take a really good picture but it just didn't come out right, what you can do is click on the object over here, click on Photo Studio, improve photo quality. So you actually want to keep the photo in your inventory, but we do have another per option here. You want to click on this, and here it is, it's outstanding. You actually do not need it in your inventory, it can just be in the real world, but we have turned that per quality picture into outstanding. You can also transfer them into paintings as well, but it's just a smaller mod that's super handy in annoying situations and something that was an oversight by the game that is fixed. The next mod is the Invite Any Guests mod, and it essentially allows you to invite anyone to your parties or events. So instead of just being able to invite people that only you know, you can invite literally anyone in the world, which is super handy because sometimes for storytelling you want to invite people that you don't know, or maybe a sim that you like the look of from the menu. And it's also really good if your sim only knows like one person, maybe they're new to town and they don't know everyone. You can literally invite the whole neighborhood, you can invite anyone you want, but make sure to check out the link to this mod because it's super helpful. It's another small mod that fixes an annoying problem. The next mod is the cinematic live mode camera, and it basically improves how the game looks in live mode. As you might have noticed, I do have reshade on, but what you're seeing right now is not actually reshade with the blur in the background. That is part of the cinematic live mode camera by Simcity. I'll prove it to you by even turning off my reshade. Like, this is what my game looks like without any reshade, and you can see the blur is still in effect. And it basically adds a really cool blurring effect when you zoom all the way out, and it looks amazing for backdrops when you're taking pictures even without reshade. And yeah, it just adds a really nice blur effect, and it makes the game look a lot more cinematic as the name suggests. So if you are not really a big fan of reshade but you want to add a little bit of a cinematic feel to your game, this mod is amazing, and you don't even have to play with anything, you just put it in your game and it works. The next mod is the smaller mosaic mod, and it is a mod that I was talking about during the Panda-sama childbirth example, and it essentially makes the mosaic effect on your sims when they go to the bathroom, if they're in a bath. It makes it smaller. So for example, if I wanted to take a picture of Abel in the bath, it wouldn't really be covering up his face, whereas the original mosaic literally covers like this much. You can only see his eyes, so it just makes it a little less annoying. But as you could see from the childbirth thing, I noticed that it was a little bit like you could see too much of what was going on. So I'm currently using the like extremely small version, which I didn't really test out, but there is like a middle version between this and like the EA version. There are 4 different versions of the mod, I think, so I will link all of them down below from where I got them on Mod The Sims. But yeah, it's just a mod that I like to have. I feel like it's personal preference, and I feel like it's just a little bit more like enjoyable when you're playing. The next mod is the faster eating and drinking mod, and as the name suggests, I keep on saying that in this video, because a lot of them are really straightforward, which is good, but it essentially allows your Sims to eat and drink faster, which is really handy because I feel like personally, in my opinion, the game makes the Sims eat really slow. And for example, if your Sim's rushing off to work in an hour, sometimes they like take so long making the food, they don't even have time to eat it. So I like to use this mod to speed things up because I don't really care to watch my Sim like take ages to eat one meal. I find it handy at home. Also when they're at restaurants, it's a lot faster and effective and they can talk a little bit more. So yeah, this is a good little mod to have. I feel it's been around for ages. The next mod is the high chair lock by Panda Sama. And as you might have noticed, I got rid of the kids that they had. I kind of went back to the previous save. Kind of weird that I didn't address that until now, but sorry. I just kind of like, she gave birth and then we just came back with no kids, but yeah, that's what happened. But the high chair lock mod essentially allows you to lock the high chair once the child is in the high chair, because since the end of time there's been this annoying glitch where your Sims constantly want to put your Sim in and out of the high chair when they're about to eat and keep on taking them out and then putting them back and then taking them out. This mod fixes that whole problem. So what you want to do is place your Sim into the high chair, and then once the toddler is in, you want to disable pickup like this. When you have the mod, that option will be there, and it means that your parent Sim will not try to take them out again and will just go to get the food, and it will be a lot more efficient how it was supposed to be. And then when your toddler Sim is ready to be lifted out, you can just enable pickup, and it's as simple as that. The next mod is the ask to invite family member mod. This is another small mod that is really a quality of life improvement in my opinion for your Sim's social life. And I feel like it's super realistic as well, because say your Sims make a bunch of friends, but they don't know really anyone else but those friends. Maybe you want your Sims to get to know their friends' family or their partners and like become like a bigger friend group. You can ask your Sim's friend to invite their family or their partner, things like that, more people that your Sim does not know. And it's kind of similar to the invite any guests mod, but I feel like it's more so on a casual level without an event being present. The next mod is the thick walled apartment lot traits, and this is specifically for apartments as the name suggests. And this is specifically for apartments because we all know if you're living in apartments, it can be a little bit annoying with like the lot traits that are a part of it. And one of the most annoying one that I just could not deal with without any mods was like the noisy neighbors. I feel like every single night my Sims would be woken up by their neighbors from being loud, and even if you told them to stop, it would kind of be glitched for a few hours where they still couldn't sleep. So having this lot trait essentially means that your Sims will not be disturbed by their neighbors anymore, regardless of what apartment they live in. Another quality of life improvement, and it just really removes that annoyance from the gameplay, and you can like just pretend your neighbors don't exist. So I am currently editing this video and I completely forgot to add in mod number 23. I can't believe I forgot, but mod number 23 is to discuss having a baby mod. And this is a very small mod which adds a conversation which allows you to discuss with your Sims partner having a baby. And I feel like it's a nice storytelling addition which kind of introduces the possibility of your Sim and your Sim's partner having children. Instead of them just trying for a baby, you can have that conversation specifically, and it just kind of feels right. So it's just another little small mod that I really like to have in my game. The next mod is the iPhone 15 default replacement by TBZ Sims. And yeah, this basically replaces the Sims 4 phone to the iPhone 15, and it has quite a few different color options. I went for the titanium option. You can also go for white and black and I think another color as well, and it looks really good. Like I was always really iffy about putting like a default replacement phone in my game because I always thought it wouldn't fit the game's aesthetic, but I feel like this one looks really good with my Sims. It doesn't stand out and look super modern, or it doesn't look like super bright or out of place. It looks really good and I think it works perfectly for my game and it's perfect size. I feel like you guys should try it out as well if you're looking for something new, like a new look in your game. And the last mod of the video is the plaster ceiling replacement mod. Also look how pretty this room looks when the sun's setting. Like it's so gorgeous. I want to take a picture. But this mod essentially replaces how the ceilings look by default. So if we zoom up, we can see a more plastered, realistic look. It's not just like a plain white, like very out of place look. It kind of looks like natural even if you've not done anything with the ceilings. I saw this on another video and I just thought, okay, I need this in my game because I just feel like as someone who doesn't build or decorate, it just kind of makes the place look a little bit better. Even though you don't really look at ceilings that much, sometimes you do, and it's nice to have a little bit of a nicer look to it. Those are my top 25 gameplay mods that I think are essential for going into 2025. I hope that 2025 brings a lot of fun gameplay for you in The Sims, a lot of new experiences, scenarios, gameplay moments. And I hope that these mods are fun for you if they're new to you. Let me know if you've been using some of these mods for years like I have. I've been using mccc for literally like maybe 7 years. And also make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video or if you found it helpful. Also, please comment anything if I missed anything with the mod list, because sometimes when there's a lot of mods, I forget to link something properly. Please let me know. And as always, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day or night wherever you are. Happy New Year, and I will see you all very soon with another Sims 4 video. Bye!